guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are still here in this underground secret location in Motor City because we have a lot to talk about coming from Chevrolet, and it's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is the all-new 2024 Chevrolet Traverse, and this one is the RS trim. But before we get into this sporty size crossover SUV with 22-inch wheels, let's talk about what's going on here. Chevrolet. It seems that for a long time, many people have really fallen in love with the Corvette, have fallen in love with the Camaro, and they've always wondered, well, how come some of that style and that technology can't trickle on over to their other models in their lineup? Well, Chevrolet is here to show that they are ready to do just that. We already brought you vehicles like the Silverado EV, the Trax. We are here now with the Traverse, and it's totally new for 2024. Now, of course, Chevrolet knows you have many different options when it comes to a mid-size crossover SUV because the segment is literally on fire when it comes to competition. But if you're looking for something that maybe has a little bit more sport, but still has that versatility, is the Traverse RS the one for you? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, you just look at the proportions. The Traverse has really grown to a point to where it's really looking a balance of sporty and aggressive, but without going too over the top. And I think one of the biggest things that just blows your mind, like I said, are 22-inch wheels, but I'm not ready to show you those up close yet. We come across the front. Of course, when we talk RS, we're talking about rally sport. That designation goes all the way back to the 1960s, and you could really see that with that sporty appearance of RS, you could find it on this Traverse. The LED lighting all the way throughout, the blending of gloss black, and then of course that beautiful red finish on this particular RS, and then you'll notice how the gloss black goes all the way down to the lower portion. Remember, this is a top from bottom total redesign, so that chassis has been all new, dedicated for this Traverse, and they made some great changes from the previous generation. Now, as we come across the front, one of the things that I'm really digging about this Traverse RS that I've kind of always thought about is how it's all blacked out. You'll notice the blacked out bow tie, but a lot of times you'll still see the chrome, the shiny chrome around the perimeter of the bow tie on this RS Traverse, all blacked out, makes it super seamless, super clean, forward-facing camera. For efficiency, we have all sorts of technology like active shutters, and of course you have that RS badge, and I think Chevrolet has some of the most iconic and best looking badges in the industry. Working your way down that lower grille area, just like up top, fully functional, and you'll notice how it's a very cohesive style of the gloss black throughout the front finish. But you could see that more aggressive style, but also sporty style in this Traverse. Now, as we rise up, clean is the name of the game when it comes to the hood. It's not about having a big, huge bulge or anything like that. Very clean lines, which then leads us around the bend to check out those 22-inch wheels. So for the first time ever on a Traverse, these wheels are just drop dead sexy. Love the design, all gloss black. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tire wrapped around these wheels? 275 on the width, 45 series sidewall, and I'm very happy to report that around the fender openings, it's not flat black. They took that same gloss black, brought it around the fender openings. Really love how it doesn't go too high into the actual body lines of the fender. Suspension has been tuned specifically for the Traverse. All four corners, all new setup with unique dampers. And then, like I said, just that wheel size is just blowing my mind. Now, coming down the side of the RS, you are gonna have gloss black on the mirror caps, 360-degree cameras, turn signals, nicely melded in. Traverse, the badge, very clean, very prominent on the doors. Even along the bottom, this is one area where sometimes you'll see the use of other materials that don't kind of blend in with everything else. They brought that same gloss black all the way around from one side to the other. We have our roof rails up front. You could get your crossbars. Of course, there's gonna be new technology inside. And then coming towards the rear, I think one of the best parts is how they finish off the side and the back of the vehicle. Being an RS, you're gonna have the black trim only along the top. I'm glad that they did not outline every single part of the side glass with gloss black. I sometimes feel that kind of weighs down the side of the vehicle, especially an SUV, but I think it was super smart to just have it run across the top here and then come into this butter knife shape into the rear quarter glass. And then at the tail end of the business, just like we started up front, super sporty, you're getting it on the back end. You have that nice low roof spoiler with the gloss black, of course gloss black in the middle portion, the full LED lighting, nicely done, very unique compared to other mid-size SUVs, that RS badge. And then my favorite part is the exhaust. You have that quad tip exhaust, nice way that they squared off like a rounded square finish on the quad pipes. And we have towing capability, which I'm gonna tell you about when we pop the hood. So since I mentioned that, let's pop the hood on this RS and see what's powering it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped, just like I prefaced on the Traverse Z71 review. This is a pre-production, plus it's got a power inverter so that we could have everything lit up just like Christmas morning on that Christmas tree. So excuse the power inverter, that has nothing to do with the operation of driving this vehicle. But what is the big new piece of the puzzle is going to be that power plant. So gone is the V6. What we have is a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline four that produces 315 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque. That's 19% more torque than the V6, mated to a newly tuned 8-speed automatic transmission, and you could tow up to 5,000 pounds with this new Traverse. Now, of course, we'll have more information, more of the efficiency numbers, but this is something that Chevy has been working on with many of their vehicles, not only producing more power and more torque, but I'm sure the efficiency, when we hear those MPG numbers, are gonna blow our mind. But why don't we go ahead, I wanna blow your mind right now and show you the inside of this Traverse RS. All right, guys, we are inside this all-new 2024 Chevrolet Traverse RS. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, this seems to check off the boxes for me. It's sporty. I can't wait to see the rest of this interior. How much is it? No pricing yet, but I'm sure Chevrolet is going to be very competitive when it comes to pricing, especially in this mid-size crossover SUV segment. But let's see what you get if you're going Traverse RS to the door panels. I absolutely love how they take the red from the outside, bring it on into the interior. Clean style, soft touch materials, even the little dabbling of the shiny metalwork style material looks really contemporary without being too over the top. You'll notice that we have a Bose sound system, and you have plenty of room there to where easily you'd be able to get one of those large Annie Ann's pretzels and a large Surge to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, the stitching, very consistent from the door panel onto the dash, that red trim, and the way that everything kind of wraps around and then focuses your eyes on this. And this is where I was telling you I was gonna melt your frontal lobe. That's a 17.9-inch infotainment system screen, full touchscreen capability. You do have an actual volume knob. And one thing that Chevrolet has always done very well are the graphics, colors, and fonts. Very quick reacting. And I love the way you're able to easily access things like camera, trailering, the whole 9 yards, very easily done right from your fingertips. We have, of course, our ability to have ventilated seats and heated seats, and we have dual climate controls. And if you're the type of person that when it comes to climate controls, you have a phobia when it comes to touching a screen, the good news is Chevrolet gives us physical knobs and switchgear for the AC controls. Down below, you're gonna get wireless charging, USB-C, USB-A, a 12 volt, and then down below, you have plenty of room down here for something like a football. Say you were at the Super Bowl when Tom Brady won with the Bucks, you could put that signed football down there and nobody's gonna bother it. 2 cup holders, you got your Chevrolet key fob, spin it around, remote start, all that good stuff. Some gloss black, but you open this up, you have a nice little storage area there. Easily put, I would say, 22 Game Boy games. That's how much room there is there. Nice soft material. The stitching is great, especially the red. I like the way they balance the red with the white stitching. Open it up. You have a nice little party tray here, and then plenty of room in that center console area. And then, of course, the seats. The RS, the red stitching, the red in the center. This is going to be a full power assist passenger seat and driver seat in this Traverse. That amazing, massive panoramic sunroof, and you do have your digital rearview mirror. Now, when I turn it on, you're just seeing white because we're in this filming cove at this studio. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this new Traverse. Guys, business time, you have 2 memory seat settings, easy to get to those seat controls, like I said, for the driver and the passenger. And then the room in here, that's one thing we really want to showcase is how much room is up front. Wait until we get into the back. All new steering wheel with the leather. You have your RS badge, of course, available Super Cruise, and there's paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go up and down that 8-speed automatic. And we have an electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel and that digital gauge display, which will be totally configurable any which way that you want it. Plus we have a new column shifter for that 8-speed automatic. But why don't we go ahead, I'm actually gonna jump into the third row to show off the middle and the third. And guess what? If you have a child seat, we're gonna show you that too. Let's get back there in this Traverse. All right, guys, back seat areas, we're doing this a little differently because the great folks at Chevrolet actually have a child seat mounted in the mid row of this vehicle to show you how that will be placed and what type of room that we're talking about. Sitting back in this third row, no longer do you have to be punished to sit back in the third row of a mid-size SUV. I'm 6 feet tall, not even close to the headliner, and I have my AC vents and the USB-Cs. But looking back at the command center, you do have, of course, your heated seats, and you have your climate controls, 2 USB-Cs, and a home power source. But you know what? Let's get to one of the most important parts. Let's get to the cargo area of this Traverse. Right, guys, cargo area time, obviously very important on any mid-size crossover SUV, and this is where Chevy really dominates the competition with a little over 97 cubic feet of space. We have that mid-row seat down to show you that extendability on the room. You'll also notice at the back in the third row, you have those USB-Cs and those cup holders for the third row passenger. And then of course we have our full touch controls right here to raise and lower the seats all through power assist. So that's really nice. You just hit the button and they easily come up. 1, 2, 3, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But you know what? I know you want to see this RS go down the road. So do I. Stay tuned. We're going to be bringing it to you, but we're going to wrap it up here from Detroit. All right, guys, it's been a crazy kind of day here at the studio with the all-new Traverse. Definitely want to thank the whole Chevrolet team for allowing us access not only of the RS, but also make sure you click the link at the end of this video to see everything that's new with the Z71 Traverse. And then let me know in the comment section, is this where you're going to put your money looking for that mid-size crossover SUV for your family? Let me know, because Chevrolet is going to read through those comment sections in that bottom portion. But of course, if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Of course, we need to thank the hardest working camera person in the whole universe, Lori, working that camera like a champ. Show us some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.